All right, in this video, I'm going to try to break down how to stand on a motorcycle. This is probably the most common thing that I work on people with is how to stand on a motorcycle. And everybody actually overcomplicates it and stands in the wrong way. And then when they jump, they do all kinds of weird stuff that actually upsets the bike. Jumping's very simple, and so is standing on the bike. I'll try to break it down the best I can. So here we go. Okay, so right here you have a picture of me taking off of the jump face. Okay, what I want to point out here is the straightness of my legs, okay? So let's think about this. If you are gonna ride 30 minutes, what would be the easiest way to stand on the bike in order to get the least amount of exhaustion possible? That is gonna be with your legs straight, okay? Not entirely straight, got to have a little slight bend in them, just so there's a little bit, to take the impact. But if you can see here, I am on the balls of my feet. My heels are so dropped, they're almost touching the jump face. And what that's allowing me to do is to control the lower part of my bike with the lower part of my body. And by standing with my legs straight, it allows me to grip the bike much better. If I was flat-footed with my feet out, there would be no contact patch in between my bike and my legs. So everything I'm doing here is with my legs. And like they say, it's not a car. We don't drive it with the steering wheel. We control the bike with our legs. So let's think about this standing position. Okay, if you were to go and stand for, let's say, 30 minutes, okay, stand normal with your legs straight, almost anyone of any age could stand that way. Okay, now start squatting and go in between a full squat and completely standing up and try to see how long you can stand there for. It is not going to be very long, right? Because you're under tension the entire time. It's almost like you're doing a squat workout. It is the same thing on a motorcycle. The more you squat and you get those knees in front of the toes, the more exhausted you are going to be. And another thing too is it's always going to pull that head behind the handlebars. Okay, everything you do on a motorcycle, that head has to be forward over the front fender. And you should be able to look down and read the decals on your front fender. And you almost have to look backwards to read your number plate. So leading with your head is very, very important in motocross. All right, so let's go to the next picture. Okay, and we can see now I have taken off of the jump. All right, not a whole lot has changed. You can see I'm on the balls of my feet. My legs are still straight. And if you drew two lines here, it would almost be at a right angle, a 90-degree angle. And that's what I try to tell people is you got to hinge at your hips. Your back should be straight and your legs should be almost straight on the balls of your feet. And get that head over the handlebars. Now, like I said, if I was in a squat here, my butt would be coming back, my knees would be going forward, my head would be behind the handlebars, and I am not going to be in control of that bike. The more you can ride forward, the more control you're going to have when you ride. So to get your body forward, it all starts with your feet. Everything goes from the feet up. Get on the balls of your feet. If you're on the balls of your feet, you're squeezing the bike correctly. Straighten those legs out and stick that butt out, okay? If you want to ride long motos, it is going to be very hard if you're in a squat the whole time. Just go stand in your living room and go halfway in between a squat and fully standing up and just see how long you can hold that position for. It is not going to be very long. The straighter your legs are, the easier it's going to be to ride a dirt bike and the less fatigued you're going to get. Get that back straight. The only thing I could say right here, and this is I got some shoulder issues, making excuses over here, is I do need to get my elbows up a little bit more. And I've been trying to work on that recently. I got a couple separated shoulders that make me want to drop my elbows, but I could get my elbows up a little bit more here. But like I said, got the head over the handlebars. If I look, I don't even have to look down. I can almost read the front fender. And then I'd have to almost look backwards to read my number plate. If you watch most of the guys that are slower, what you can do is just go watch every practice session. Watch the beginner class and look where their head is in relation to the handlebars. Go watch the novice class. They're probably going to be a little more neutral, maybe right over the crossbar pad. Go watch the B class, okay? You watch the slower B riders, they're probably going to be a little more forward. You watch the really fast B riders who go the same speed as the pros, they're going to be way over that front end, especially when standing. And I know people are going to argue, oh, Ryan Villapoto rode on the back of the bike. Yeah, he rode on the back of the bike in turns sometimes. But if you watched him ride down a straightaway or do a rhythm section, he was over the front of the bike just like every other pro is. When you are jumping, going down a rutted straightaway, like this section here is a very rutted straightaway. You can't really tell from the videos, but it's really rutted, and it's very important to control the bike with your legs and get in the proper standing position. All right, so this is just a different angle of the same section. You can see you jump, and right where you land, you have to land in a very tricky, hard-packed rut. So it's a lot of timing and precision with doing this section here. And you can see, look at leg straight, head over the handlebars, back straight. And you can see that my butt comes a little back in the air. And all that is there's a little kicker in that jump, and that's just a mid-air adjustment. But you can see I did not do anything crazy on the face. I just stayed in my standard jumping position, did not make any aggressive movements, and went off the jump face. So you can see, look at, I'm even standing through the corner, and I had the same standing form before I sat. I was leg straight, head over the bars, back straight. All right, so now I'm coming out. There's a little single here, and it was really muddy and ruddy, but let's see what happens. Okay, leg straight again. Looks like I'm going to try to seat bounce this one. All right, so I'm going in the air, and you can see, look at, I adjust. All right, a little bit of foot movement to control the back end. I land with my leg straight, head over the bars, and I'm in that same exact position. You can watch any of the top pros in the way they ride, and they're actually probably going to be a little more forward than I am, but the position is going to stay the same. All right, and so in this last little clip here, you can even see this is from a different angle. You can see that my heels are dropped, okay? And that's one of the most important things when riding is dropping those heels. In the 80s and 90s, nobody really rode on their balls of their feet, but the way that motocross and supercross and stuff like that has progressed, I had to change my riding style. I was very flat-footed when I was younger, and I got really bad arm pump. I'm a firm believer that if you can ride on the balls of your feet, you'll probably never get arm pump because you are controlling the bike with your legs. With flat feet, it is almost impossible to control the bike with your legs. When you are on the balls of your feet, your legs automatically start gripping that motorcycle, and it just takes that tension off of your hands. And you can see here, same thing. Head is over the crossbar pad. I'm in front of the crossbar pad. My legs are pretty darn straight. My back could be a little straighter here and elbows could be a little more up. But I mean, look at this is just a standing position. It's almost like I'm standing without a bike, just kind of leaning forward a little bit. So don't overcomplicate standing on the motorcycle. Stand in a way that's comfortable and that can allow you to ride for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, might even be 10 minutes. Just, if you stand the right way, it is going to be a lot easier to ride and a lot easier to go faster, actually. Don't coil up and get in that fetal position when you ride because you're scared of it. Ride in a confident position, and this is a confident position when you're up over the handlebars. You control the bike. Don't let the bike control you.